Work session has started.
Good afternoon, David Coons, Solid Waste Street and Recycling. We have several things on the agenda today. Got a couple of change orders actually. So the first one is with certified alarm on, this is the solid waste one, give them in order. We're adding a couple of 4 cameras at recycling. And so we have an existing contract down there. And we budgeted for these 4 additional cameras to cover our blind spots inside the plant there, based on the kind of the crew we got working down there. We like to have everything under surveillance. And so we do that. This was the 4 last blind spots. And so the cost of it is $5883.78 to add this. They Certified Alarm wants to do it as a change order to the existing contract. It won't cost us anything extra a month, but it'll just be this one-time fee. Any questions about that?
And that's that 58, the one-time fee?
Yeah. Buy 4 cameras and install them, wire them up, and so forth.
Anybody have any questions for David? If not, we need a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Hendricks. All in favor of the motion?
Second change order is with Certified Alarm. This is at Starkey Drive property for the street department, and we're adding 2 keypads, $1,454.07. What we realized after we got kind of settled in the building is that when we have a lot of call-outs at night, big stuff to go respond to emergencies on one end of the building, it's quite the hike from one end to the other. So we just put another couple of keypads on the entranceway so that they can come in different ways and get the machinery, get out there and get a problem fixed. This is a one-time fee also, just for the installation of that, but they want to do it as a change order of the existing contract. So, any questions about that one?
What was that one?
$1,454.07.
Okay. Y'all have any questions for David on that one? No, that's a change order.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Hendricks. All in favor of the motion?
All right, next is a contract with Ringer Garage Door Company to do repairs on the door and the frame, $4,020. The door got hit. Somebody pulled it in and out of the plant. These doors have a tough life, and we use them obviously quite a bit. So it got bumped by somebody, and this is to rebuild the frame and all that one-time deal. Any questions on it? Next item, 11F, is Hoosier Machinery Solutions. They're an installer of recycled equipment, so grant money from ADM has bought us a new magnet for the sort line to replace the one that's about had it. And then also grant money bought us an eddy current. An eddy current sorts aluminum cans that will replace a person. So in other words, instead of somebody picking these cans, this magnet's a type of magnet will sort them for us so we can replace somebody on the line. So we bought this equipment that this contract is to have it installed by this group of installers. Any questions on that? Okay. All right. And then the final one is a contract with MXI Environmental Services. This is for another household hazardous waste day. We did this, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, where we will partner with Lauderdale County this year. Residents of the city of Florence and Lauderdale County will be able to come to the Coliseum and dispose of stuff that they have a hard time disposing of, such as paint, turpentine, old gas, batteries, anything like that. It was a very popular event a few years ago, and we do have a limit. It's a $30,000 limit. We've got money from several people to help offset this cost. TVA's given us $5,000, Gas and Water Department $4,500, Lauderdale County $5,000. We've got another grant pending from the Muscle Shoals Natural Heritage Foundation, probably $5,000. The city will pay the rest of it. We will stop the event if it exceeds the budget. They keep up with it as we go. Different commodities are different prices. It's not open to businesses. It's a good way to get rid of stuff that you have, old chemicals and pesticides and all that. We've done it before. Any questions on that event? It's just the contract with these guys to do it, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Brian, oh, he's not here. The 2 that's on here from Brian Murphy, he was here at the last work session and he addressed those. And so they just failed to get signed, so that's why they're back on there. He did come at the last work session and addressed all of that and explain everything at that point. Ms. Mary. Janelle.
I have 3 on the agenda today. The first one is a contract with Stanley Steamer. This is our yearly cleaning of our office space. It's got carpet. In the amount of $1,260. Yep. Any questions? Next one is,
You do this annually?
we do this annually.
Okay.
We do different spaces. We did a dispatch space every year, but then we kind of rotate the other spaces, so.
Gotcha.
Next is renew of our Chris Mitchell Management Consultants. He is our financial consultant. We've been doing business with for 15 years, and this is a renewal of his contract in the amount of $26,450.
You know how much it changed, if it changed?
It did change. He added a new line item to it, which was the $5,000, which is the biggest change. And then I think 2 other ones had some small changes from like 500 to 700, so. It was $20,050 last year, but he added 1 line item to it, so.
You know what that was for?
It was for analysis and results impacts from TVA's next rate changes being discussed, so.
Good to have that there.
Yes, yes. And lastly, any questions, other questions about that one? Okay, lastly, we had someone to get a poll, and this is just a release for property damage in the amount of $2,608.83. So this is just a release for them to pay us for the damage they did to our pool from their insurance agent.
Okay.
Any questions?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Jason.
Good afternoon. I've got one item today, 11J. It is a invoice from Matthews Tree Service in the amount of $5,000, and that was for an emergency tree removal at 216 East Hawthorne Street. That was some storm damage.
Do you have any questions for me? No? Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Bill?
Did you go?
Good afternoon. You've got 2 items. First item is item K, which is a materials testing for the project at McFarland Park. And this is the amount of $31,726. Any questions about that?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
This past Saturday morning, I went down to McFarland to the pier. Well, there wasn't a pier there. That's kind of what I was wanting to see. But there were people fishing everywhere. And so I said, how's the fishing? They said, it's good. So I had a bright idea that if we poured a slab there and put a fence so the handicapped fishermen wouldn't roll into the creek. I'm just now saying that. That's just an idea. Because everybody fishing was happy.
Well, hopefully in the next little while, we're working on the contract, so hopefully we can get started on that project pretty soon.
My point was that we wouldn't do it.
Oh, wouldn't do it, just pour a slab?
Yes.
All right.
And I may be the lone wolf. I went and talked to the fishing people.
They're fish down there alive.
Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay.
No,
I guess I'm not following you. What, are you saying we need a handicap spot down there?
No,
I don't know what you're saying.
the people are fishing now because the pier's gone.
Right.
And they're able to sit
Oh, I got you.
on the
Yeah.
bank and fish.
Oh, they're gonna love what's coming though. It's gonna be beautiful.
That was just a thought. That's not a suggestion, a thought.
Thank you, Bill.
I got a question.
Sure.
This, I guess, is more directed toward Mr. Griffin. So you're on the Parks and Recs committee, right? Have you not shared that thought with them?
No. He came to me Saturday when I went down there to watch them fish.
Perhaps that's a conversation you all may have in y'all meeting, right?
He just shared it with us.
I
There's
mean-
2 of us are here and the director.
Sure.
You can't vote on it here, but that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
After I read this in the agendas,
I just went down there and this just hit me as a thought. And it's just my observation. Thank you.
So even if we did pour a slab, we would still need to do what we're doing, because what they will do is they will test anything that we do, whether we build something, so they'll test for strength, and this is material testing, so this is what this particular item is for TTL.
okay, thank you.
Next item is item M, and this is a MOU with Big Brothers Big Sisters. They're gonna do an event where I think it's a city, some kind of city tour, and they're gonna use the van. They will pay the van driver $14 an hour, and we'll also charge them the gas for that particular thing. Any questions on that? Thank you.
Also, Bill,
Yeah.
were you doing something else?
No, just a comment. Go ahead.
Is it pertaining to,
The bill, yeah, in that part.
oh, you wanna do that before I do this then?
So,
Go ahead, since you're still on.
I just wanted to thank you. I was down there Saturday morning as well, looking at those trees we talked about, and you said those got started being removed today, all the ones that were tagged. There's been a lot of talk about on Facebook about those, and I just want to say thank you for
Sure.
being proactive and helping to get that project moving.
We'll have to thank David Coombs and his team. Thank you very
I
much.
think he's already gone, or I would have done the same.
Well,
Thank you.
we'll tell him now, thank you. Can't do it without him. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, received the email today.
Yes,
We want
ma'am.
to remove 11L and 12C
Correct.
from the regular agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Well,
can we get,
the regular agenda is 11, is the C, and I think the consent was the L, if I'm not mistaken.
you are correct.
Let me say something about that before do we have to vote to do that?
We will.
Okay, before we do that, though, let me say, since I've been on the council for 5 years, there's one common ask for, and it's from parents that say we don't have enough parking at the sportsplex. And just because this is coming off the agenda tonight, doesn't mean that we're not gonna vote on it, because it's coming back. But I also want you to elaborate, if you would, while we're way ahead of time, so you can do this. And another key to having more parking out there is when we bid on regional tournaments from the state, which, by the way, we just had over 20,000 people at our sportsplex for the recent regional tournament. We ran completely out of parking. They were parking on hillsides, out on the highway. They were parking wherever they could get. That is one thing that when we bid for these, they look for and ask for us to have is adequate parking. And that is why we're trying to add that for that purpose and for our people who use that sportsplex nightly. So I say all that to say this: parents, when you hear that we put this off for a couple of weeks, don't be thinking or dejected that we're not going to act on this, because we will get a chance to vote on it. And while I'm on that regional tournament, by the way, I pulled this up, or you sent this earlier, just under $700,000 was injected into our economy from those, 3 days they were here? And some of the businesses that, and this is, Chick-fil-A was the top, visited the most,
Yes, sir.
go figure, Chick-fil-A. 2,700 visits, Buffalo Wild Wings, Target, Cookout, Cox Creek Shopping Center, all those benefited. Who did this?
So that came from our Placer AI that I think y'all, it's probably been a month or so ago that we partnered with tourism to do that.
Yeah.
So those numbers came from that. And then Tyler Dolan with tourism, he did one, and I think there was a press release last week. And, data is all about what you put in there. So with his data, with number of hotel stays, I think it was 1.2 million. So that came from the data that you collected by cell phones, where people go.
Right.
It's a really, really good tool, so you can kind of see where people visited, and then, the high traffic areas.
Exporting goods was a big.
Yes, sir.
Visited there. And finally, the last thing we want when we host these big events out there is for the coaches and parents to call the home office and say, we don't ever want to go back there again. They don't have enough parking. So that's what this is about. It's not because we just want a few extra parking spaces. We want to be able to host these events and accommodate people that come here that inject nearly $1 million into our city. So
Yes.
thank you for all y'all do out there. You do a wonderful job.
I can't take credit. We have a great team out there. They do a wonderful job. The big thing that I think we got complaints on this year, people were parking on the sidewalk and where people were handicapped,
Yeah.
they couldn't get through there. So, and we had one that was by a fire hydrant. So those are parking on Gunnerford Road. We had just some issues, and we are over, when those tournaments are there, you can.
And this is a budgeted item, the parking
Yes,
lot.
sir.
The expansion is a budgeted item, okay. All right.
And the reason also that it's being asked to be removed, we do have some,
Yes.
we don't have a full council here.
Yes, ma'am.
That's exactly
So
right.
just say that, but can I finish? We just don't have those council members here, so they need to be here on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
So one other question before we move on.
Sure.
The Placer AI, is that the first tracking that we've had since we've had that?
I've done some for Arts Alive. I did some with, Jackie, I think wanted some numbers. I've done some just different things where you can pretty much pull it up for any event. You just pick the weekend or the day that you want, and they can run the numbers. So what we'll do is for Stars and Guitars on Friday night, we'll be able to tell how many people were there. And it's a really, really good, useful tool, and you can do those bar graphs, and I kind of play around with it, put it in the program, and let it spit out some numbers. So it's a good tool.
Okay.
Really, really
Yeah, I was
is.
just curious if that was the first one of
The first one
numbers
of that magnitude, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And we did one that was the first week of the season when spring started to show how many people were out there. I think it was over 8,000 people just in that opening week of spring sports. We had 1,600 kids out there, so we just kind of wanted to judge, how many people were out there and the utilization of it. It's a great tool.
And when we do get the bridge built, the direct connection from the sportsplex to downtown, it is going to benefit downtown drastically.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Bill, I'd like to point out that with this Placer AI, that we're not breaking any privacy laws. It works in the same technology as like Google Maps. When it shows that there's a, slowdown in traffic and the map turns red, it's basing that on the movement of cell phones, and it works with similar technology. But I had a couple of people ask me, did they get my name or my number or anything like that? I just want to assure the public that it's not an invasion of privacy.
So with Placer AI, we partner with Tourism. Tourism really has all the controls of it. We can request anything we want to. I'll just call Rob and he can run the numbers. So we don't have access to it. So I would just assume that it was lawful, and Mr. Musgrove wouldn't let us enter into it if it was not lawful. I certainly agree.
Okay, thank you. No other discussion with that? Now we can get a motion to
So
approve this
moved.
item removed.
Thank you.
To move these two items, to remove them.
Okay. Can we get a
Thank
second?
you.
Motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Hendricks. All in favor of
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good afternoon.
You too. Mr. Musgrove.
Good afternoon. I have one item on the agenda. It's 12A, an ordinance to approve the sale of certain surplus real property. This is the city-owned surplus property at the corner of Old Chisholm Road and Chisholm Road, right by Greenview Cemetery. We have a substation on one of the lots, and then we own a vacant, the city owns a vacant lot south of that. And a developer of Tyndall Davis, and he may have some partners, but Tyndall's the one who approached the city, bought here it is, I'm sorry, bought approximately 11 acres adjacent to the city's property, and he approached the city and asked if he could buy 0.43 acres for a road, to build a road. The road is, it comes off of Old Chisholm Road and accesses his property and property adjacent on the other side of his property, if the council approves this, once he builds the road. And it also opens up the adjacent property for development, which can't be accessed currently because the state won't allow access along there off of the New Chisholm Road. And so that's the purpose of this. The amount was calculated by the developer. That the developer paid, it's $285,000 for 11 acres, and it comes out to 20 some odd thousand per acres, and then 0.43 of the per acre price that they paid for the adjoining property comes out to $11,141. And then he asked that it be discounted 25% because his surveyor recommended it because of the limited use of the strip. You can't build anything on it. It's really of no use except for a right of way. And if you do that, the price becomes $8,355 for the 0.3 acres. And we discussed that. This was presented to the finance committee, and the price was discussed, but I don't recall if the developer went into that much detail about how he arrived at that cost, so that's why I explained it. But this was approved unanimously by the finance committee. And also because the right-of-way that he wants to purchase or the property for the right-of-way is adjacent to a lot with a substation on it, we checked with Ms. McDuffa, and she said that this will not affect any future potential expansion of that substation. So, any questions?
Now, and this also was approved through the planning.
Planning, yes, ma'am. The development was approved by the planning commission. It's a residential,
So it's went through all the steps.
housing development, that's correct, yes.
I'd like to point out that it also provides both developments access to water that you couldn't
That's right.
access otherwise.
That's right, that's correct.
Any other comments or questions for Mr. Musgrove?
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Mr. Lighty?
Good afternoon. I have one item on the regular agenda, item B, ordinance to approve the fees for candidates to qualify to run for the offices of mayor, city council, and board of education in the upcoming City of Florence municipal elections to be held on August 26, 2025. And this qualifying fee is $50, and it's been that way for 20, 30 years at least, but anyway. But I need your approval for
Okay, y'all heard him, do we get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Oliver, second by Mr. Griffin. Oliver?
that. I mean, you don't need to vote on it. This is
It'll
on the
come,
agenda tonight.
come up during the.
Oh, it's on the
Okay,
agenda.
yeah, okay.
I think if you raised it, we'd all pay it.
It can't be above that.
Oh,
It's
that's
between
why it's
10 and
$50. Okay.
Okay, getting to with the boards, we do have an opening for the zoning board, and we do have one application, Mr. Tony Latham, and everybody should have that one in hand. And that's all we do have, so I'd like to make that motion to accept Mr. Latham to the zoning. Okay.
Second.
Motion by Katrina, second by Mr. Griffin, all in favor of that motion? And then we have two for scope 410. And Ms. Waddell is gonna check to make sure that they both want to be reappointed, and then we'll take care of that one next time.
Well, you got one there that's actually running for city council, and that may eliminate him if he were to have success with the election, but, I don't know what we would do about that. So.
All right, you'll check into that, Kathy, okay. All right, well, we are certainly ahead of schedule. Being that we had ahead of schedule, I know we have Mr. Sabo here. Would you like to come on and share now? Or you want to do it in the meeting, however you want to do it? Since we have time, if the council is okay with that.
Yes.
Okay. We have Chris Stengel from Downtown Florence Alliance.
Thank you, council members. Thank you. I'm Chris Stengel with the Downtown Florence Alliance. I just wanted to invite council members, the city community to join us. Obviously, we've got First Fridays coming up this Friday. Hopefully, the weather is cooperative. We squeaked through last month, so we're hoping to do so again. I did want to point out something that was interesting in terms of just, obviously we're known as the event, a lot of event-facing things for downtown Florence and whatnot. But I did want to point out to the community and to the council members and to the city that in the last year, in terms of grants and grant equivalents, Downtown Florence Alliance has brought $97,000 worth of grant and grant equivalents to our downtown area and to businesses. Some of those include, obviously, the lighting project that we just wrapped up, the lights on Mobile project, Mobile Plaza, were a $25,000 grant from the Main Street, our Main Street parent. Others included $12,000 in marketing grants for 12 different businesses in downtown Florence. We had a Shark Tank-like pitch competition that was $10,000 that awarded to 3 different businesses in downtown. So I just wanted to let the folks know, the community, and y'all know that we're working hard to try to make sure that we're earning our keep here, and we're trying to get a lot of things going for downtown businesses. Those 12 different businesses that received $1,000 grants for marketing, they included Trowbridge's, Banquette, 3 Blooms, Larry's, Inga's, Print, PSI, Lost Pizza, Reclaim Spirit. And what we did is we used that as an opportunity to train up some, because marketing is changing. Business in terms of retail downtown is changing. Actually, the entire landscape is changing. And this was an opportunity to kind of get those folks to learn about what that landscape is now including. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the community, to the city, and to the council members, that Downtown Florence Alliance is working hard to try to make sure that we're reinvesting all of your dollars, community's dollars, and that we have a vibrant downtown. So join us downtown, not just the First Fridays, but businesses would say join us any day of the week, because we're open for business. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate all that you do. Okay, we've got about 30 minutes, and we'll take a break.